And so it's important that we start off with riding that emotional roller coaster. And what I mean by that, it is really acknowledging the emotions. So we started you off this webinar with what was some one words of how you're feeling today. But during this time of career disruption, we have to take time to understand the emotional roller coaster. Because again, it may be a shock, it may be a disbelief, it may be anger, it may be sadness, it may be a numbness, this uncertainty, this fear, this unknown of something that you cannot control. So now that we've been able to acknowledge and ride this emotional roller coaster, how do we move through some of these emotions? And here are some strategies that we can do. We need to take time to reflect on all what's going on. And so big on self-reflection, taking a minute. Again, how do you start off your day? Sitting quietly to reflect on what's all going on. And there are things that we have realized that you cannot control or you cannot change. But what you can control is you, your perspective, your emotions, your outlet, your actions, your perspective, your mindset is what you can control. So after we, again, move through some of these emotions, we want to navigate again those practicalities. We want to start off with focusing on those immediate actions. What can we do? And so some of the things is, let's start working on our list. Let's identify those key things that are truly next step. Let's making sure that I'm applying for my benefits, that I've sought my financial counselor, that I'm looking at all my bills, that I'm looking at my wants versus my need, that I'm having conversations with my family members. Again, let's reviewing those finances. And you now must understand and establish a new norm, a new rhythm. And so you must be intentional about your routine. When we were working and at work, we would know we would get up and do those things that we need to do to get to work. And now that we have this new chapter of our life that was unexpected, we've got to establish a new rhythm, a new norm. Also, in terms of building the resiliency, now we need to start charting a new course. We need to embrace this uncertainty because it's here. And we know that anything in life, change is inevitable. And people don't like change. And we've had and seen a lot of change in 6 months. And it's a lot for people to process all the change, and it's life-changing. It's not just a little change, it's life-changing. And so now we have to kind of chart that new course in our lives.